morning, guys, and today we are going to be working on a project I'm sure a lot of you will be able to follow, and this is a very relatable build and you guys are going to like it. So we have a 2016 STI in today. This car we have already done stage 3 mods on it. So as you know, stage 3 mods for me means TGV Deletes, fuel rails, lines, regulator, injectors, downpipe, external wastegate, fuel pump on this car, and it has a flex fuel kit on it as well. It still has a stock turbo, it still has a stock top mount on it right now, and it just got a built motor, so it's just through the break-in period of the motor. It is a forged piston and rod head stud motor, and with that it got a brand new ACT extreme duty street clutch. So that's already in the car, so it's ready to go to finally start making some power. And let's talk a little bit about the mods I had Valentine go with. So let's start out here with the obvious ones. We went out to our guys at Extreme Turbo Systems. They got us taken care of with a 3.5-inch ETS intercooler for this car, and that is their full piping kit for it. Obviously this is still going to be a stock location car. As you can tell here, we have the favorite FP green turbo, still a factory inlet size on here, 2.5-inch, because you guys know how much that 3-inch inlet is a pain in the car. So this will work just fine. Made great power, as you guys have seen on Chandler's build. I can go ahead and link that over here for you if you haven't seen that. But this is gonna be a great addition to this. This car, what we're aiming for is 500 horsepower, and that is at the wheels, DynoJet. This car does have ID1050 injectors, so that is gonna be the limiting of us, and an AEM 340 fuel pump. So what we'll probably end up doing is hardwire the fuel pump, so we get a little bit more flow, and then we're still gonna get capped out in the injector. So should be able to make right around his goal. Chandler's car made 508 on a stock motor. We can be a lot harder on this built motor, obviously, than the stock motor, so should hit our goal. We will be pushing it, like I said, but we should be able to do it. With doing all this, we are gonna be doing speed density, so that's why we reach out to our guys over at iWire. This is a plug and play intake air temp sensor kit. This literally just plugs right into your mass airflow sensor there. Gives you your intake temp sensor plug right there. Look, you guys, plug and play. Don't look anywhere else. Don't cut your car up. They're brand new. They're nice cars. So just go ahead and order these iWire adapters. This one is for the map sensor, since we're going speed density, and obviously we're going to be running more than 23 pounds, and that's what the factory map sensor caps out at. It's actually like 22.8 or 9, but 23 pounds. We need to do an upgraded map sensor. So we reach out to iWire and we get an AEM map sensor, which we have right over here. This is the map sensor kit. This is from AEM. This is gonna be a 5-bar. The reason why I have everyone do 5-bar map sensors, guys, because they're the same cost as a 3.5 bar. And you know what? When you feel 500 horsepower, you really think you're gonna stop there? Probably not. So at 3.5 bar would max out around 36 pounds. The AEM 5-bar, we run on everything else, and it can support up to 50 pounds of boost and more. So why not do that when it's the same price and there's no difference in the running them? So I always go ahead and push everyone to buy 5-bar map sensors. Moving over here, we have the AEM air intake temp sensor kit. So we have that to put in our intercooler piping. As you can see here, we have a parent turbo inlet. The stock factory inlet is just not going to be strong enough for that little FP green sucking its heart out over there. So we have a brand new parent turbo inlet, and obviously there's our piping for our ETS kit and our couplers. Now we do have a brand new radiator for this car as well. Koyo is my go-to for radiators on all Subarus. Actually, a little fun tip, your factory radiator is a Koyo radiator. So great radiator from factory. You know, I get that question quite a bit where people ask, you know, how much power can you make on a stock radiator? I mean, it's not so much that it comes down to power, I guess I would say. You know, obviously when we're putting an intercooler in front of it, it's going to restrict flow, so we need a better radiator, especially in hot days. So it's just helping the system be more efficient, guys. It's not that it, you know, it's a power adder or anything like that. So something like that I do suggest, usually when you go anything in the 500 or plus region. So that kind of helps you guys out with that tip. But we are ready to start getting these parts on this car and start making it pretty. So let's get this hood opened up and see what we're working with. We're gonna have to give this thing one of our famous engine bay details. She's a little bit dusty since the last time I did it. I did one probably about I don't know, it's probably been a year and a half since I've worked on this car. So probably it was gonna be the last time. The last time I did work on it, actually, that was like recently. I did this about a couple months ago. I put the AOS on there and the flex fuel kit, so we were ready to go for our plans of this new FP green, which, as you can tell with everything going on right now, this did take some time to get. I believe he's been waiting on that FP green for a couple months now. So finally everything came in, so we can get going on this car and getting it apart. So first things first, to start all this, I am gonna go ahead and pull the intake manifold. You guys always want to see how we clean the intake manifold. So I know I touch base on it and then I end up skipping through the video. So I'm really going to try to focus on that on this car, guys, and let you know how to make your intake manifold look clean like we do. So I'm really going to try to focus on that while still getting this thing done. We do need to go ahead and start with obviously our battery. That's always number one, guys. But we're going to get this thing up in the air. We're going to get our battery out. We got to get our intercooler obviously off and our downpipe, and then we can start getting our intake manifold off and turbo. So let's go ahead, get this thing up in the air, start getting to work, get that battery out of the way, and once we're there, then I'm going to jump back onto this, and I'm going to try to explain the best I can for you guys on this to make it step by step. Also, I think we are just going to go ahead and do away with this reservoir, because if I got the intake manifold off, that's one of the reasons why I'm pulling the intake manifold off, by the way. Then I got this turbo inlet to do. So I might as well just go ahead and pull this intake manifold, knock it out, and then we can go ahead and delete that guy, because our new coil radiator, that's one thing I like about them. They actually have a plug right there where your normal deal would go into on here. So as you can see, they don't include that into them. So it's nice for cars that we want to delete this on, but for ones that we don't, it would be nice to have a plug. So only downfall. But let's get this thing up in the air, guys. Get to work. Well, before I get this thing up in the air, those of you who've been following the EVO project, the motor actually comes today for this thing, and as you can tell, I still have it in the air, and it has all our freaking jack stands underneath this thing. But we did get something new on it, so I don't know if you guys can notice or it'll pick it up on camera, but went ahead and got rid of the other wheels that were on this thing, and we got some factory EVO 9 BBS wheels, which definitely we'll need to clean up there. It looks like they were painted at once upon in their life, but I want this thing to be looking stock, and I've always loved these EVO 9 BBS wheels. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up the rear wheels, get this thing up, get our jack stands out of there, so at least have a set. No reason to take the front ones out, because we're gonna be putting the motor back in this car this weekend, guys. I'm really hoping to. Motor comes today between 1 and 3, so we'll have the motor. The only thing that's unknown, but my guys always take care of me over at Cylinder Head. Big shout out to you, Matt. I believe he is going to knock out that head for us today, so we have that rebuilt head for this, because as you guys saw in that video, the valves had touched the piston, so I know it needed a new set of valves, or it could have bent them. So went ahead and had them rebuild the whole head, and I dropped it off on, it was Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those two. If you ask him, it was yesterday. That's how he gets away with it. But now being Friday and we're going into the weekend, he told me he would get it knocked out for us, so fingers crossed, because we have everything else for this. I did get an OEM engine gasket kit from Mitsubishi for this thing, so that way we can go ahead and put this thing all together with OEM gaskets. Make sure it's done right. We'll have the brand new rebuilt head. We'll have the JDM short block is what we're going to end up using. Has 55,000 miles on it, and we'll have a full OEM gasket kit. It does have a set of head studs, so I'll be nice for the buyer if they ever plan on doing stuff. And it looks like there is quite a few people that have reached out to me in email and wanting to buy this thing. So don't be sleeping, guys, because I haven't got a definite answer from any of you. And I know you're waiting till you guys see this thing run, but don't sleep, because there's a lot of people interested in this thing right now. It is a clean title car, guys. I mean, that's super rare to find anymore in EVOs. Actually, I got two. Black one and this one are both clean title, both low miles. So go ahead, don't sleep on it. Let me know. If you do want it, you better start letting me know now. Let's get those jack stands out of the back of that thing, get this thing up in the air, guys. there we have it, guys. You saw I took the intake manifold off a much different way than I normally do, but I only had to undo some wiring connections here and there, and this thing already has a fuel system, so I can get away with taking up that upper portion. Just have to go ahead and unbolt our harness, which sometimes is a bit of a pain, but for what I need to do, this is where I need to be right now and be in here, so this will work out for me. To touch on the topic of deleting everything on top of the intake manifold right there, this is what is on top of there, guys. So this is what you normally see here. It is like so. This has your evap emission stuff here, and it has your boost controller there. I like to move the boost controller away from the heat of this intake manifold. Granted, this thing shouldn't get that hot, but I like to move these away from the heat and move them over to the shock tower. We'll discuss that some more. I know I've showed that before. The evap stuff, I do no longer use this stuff. There's a lot of different tuners out there that may be picky, so make sure to double check with your tuner before you go ahead and delete all this evap stuff. I don't use it, don't like it. It makes it much cleaner without it. So literally all this stuff is going to be gone, and we are going to go ahead and get rid of that stupid expansion tank while we're here anyways. That is why, the real reason why I pulled the intake manifold. So now that we got this off, I can get to our feed here that goes over to the expansion tank, and we'll run across top motor here, and right there, let's see if I can get a good view. This is right off the water pump, so we're gonna remove it from here, run a hose from here over to our AOS. Then, so you know how our AOS has two lines there. We have one coolant line in and out, so we're gonna run one of the lines to the water pump there, and then we're gonna run the other one to the turbo, and then turbo to the back of the head. That's how we get rid of that, guys. I know I get asked that question probably the most out of anything, but it's very simple. It's a loop system. Once you can figure out and understand how it goes, it'll be very easy. Again, water pump right here. We're gonna connect a hose right off of there. It's gonna run up, tucked away, up to our AOS. AOS to the turbo, turbo to the back of the head, and then this is all gone out of our way. We're going to need as much room as we can get in here anyways with our new upgraded turbo inlet. This is a must for 3-inch inlets, guys. Makes it a lot easier. You don't have to fight as much of that stupid thing there. So now to get this thing off of here, I know you're going to ask, well, how do we get this out of here? So you can see here we have a mounting bracket there, and we also have a mounting bracket right here. So we're going to go ahead and trim these guys, because if we don't, then it's going to stay on here. But what I'm pausing about is you can either trim here, or you can trim down here and just cut the pipe like this, clean up your edge, make sure it's not sharp, leave that and leave it to right there and cut that, so that way you have a support and it's mounted down. That's the way I like to do it. I will show you guys what I mean here more in a moment when I take this off and do it, but that's what I like to do it. And then again on this side, so we leave the support, I just trim this side of the support gone and smooth right there, so that way that whole pipe system is gone. And then we, like I said, we're going to run our hose from there to our AOS. Now to do so, I understand that most of the cars, you know, maybe you're not putting a brand new AOS on, and even if you are, their lines are not going to be long enough here, so you're going to have to get a straight through adapter to connect to that hose, and then you can make it however long you want. It is 1/2-inch coolant hose, so 1/2-inch heater core hose is what you'll need for it. So that goes into depth more about that. Enough talking, let's go ahead, get to work. I need to get this downpipe off here so that way I can get the turbo out of here, and then from there we can start getting that off and go back into reassembly. So let's do it, guys. Now that we got the lovely neighbor finished up mowing, I can go ahead and talk to you guys because that would have been annoying to have in the background. But we made some good progress on this thing, and as I was showing you there in kind of those little small clips about how I got this in here, you can see I have my line coming out of here, and it's not hooked up to anything yet, but it will be hooking up to one of these AOS lines back there. But for now, we're just going to leave this unhooked because I can go ahead and put the intake manifold on. This is trimmed here, so like I said, there's nothing no longer over here. So that means I can go ahead and put our turbo inlet on, and then we can put the intake manifold on. So I did get this on, but since we are going to a Tial 50 mil blow-off valve, we need to block off this little port here that is for the blow-off valve to recirc back into the intake. So we need to plug that off, and we're going to go ahead and plug all these off because we're no longer going to be using any of these on the turbo inlet anymore. So as you guys have seen, for me to clean it up, go ahead and plug those up. And from there, we are waiting on the engine for the EVO right now. So I can't go to the hardware store and grab what I need. So in the meantime, I'm just going to be finding stuff that I can do, and obviously I'm kind of hitting the wall of what I can do. So let's just go ahead and jump forward. We're going to get this bumper off, start getting this ETS intercooler on this car, and getting this bumper cut out. So I know a lot of you guys ask me how I cut the bumper. This is my favorite year to cut, to be honest, because I think it looks the best. But we take a look here. Obviously you can trim this lower grill out here, which looks like it's not really even in, guys. But that's all right. This thing's going to be gone anyways. You can trim out here from like there down and over and so forth, and then you can see some of the intercooler, but you get some higher intake temps and coolant temps. So if we cut this out, we'll get better flow. So I like to go ahead and follow this line up to here and then follow that over and down. So that's what we're gonna be doing on this. You guys asked what I use to cut this, and as a lot of you have seen, I use a grinder to cut it, and then I'll come back with a air grinder with a sanding disc on it to clean up all the edges, make sure it looks perfectly clean. Almost turns out factory. So that's how we'll be doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this bumper off, get the intercooler mounted up here, and start knocking out this bumper while we're waiting on the pallet to come in with the motor for the EVO, because they're supposed to come between 1 and 3, and right now it's about 2:30. So if they're gonna come on time, probably not. But in the meantime, I can't leave. So let's just do something that we can do, and then we can go grab those parts and we can get the rest of this thing back together. So let's get this bumper off. Alright guys, let's catch up. Now, as you can see, I got the bumper off and I got it taped out. I did go ahead, get that thing all cut out, cleaned up. That thing is ready to go back on the car. But first, we need to get our intercooler system on the car, and I want to cover this even though I did before, because ETS does not give you instructions on installing their front mount kit due to liability. So I'm going to help them out here. They always help us out and help me out. So if you take a look here, the shorter spacers that come in your kit go right there on both sides of the intercooler. Up top, you don't need a spacer. It's a factory bolt is what I use in there. Everything's good. See how we have the same spacer over here? And then moving over to your washer fluid tank. Yes, you can see this. I've covered this before. These have a frame support here that you do have to remove. And when you remove those, you either have to cut this or bend it. I like to bend it in. You never know what someone's plan is with a car, or if it's ever gonna go back to stock. Granted, that'd be a pain in the ass to bend back, and who knows if it would come back and be at the right spot. But I bend them in. I don't like to cut the frame. So moving over to the washer fluid tank, guys, these have the larger spacers, and that's what that long 10mm style bolt is right there. And you look way back in there, see if I can get this in there. There's another one back there. That one's a pain to get. You got to use a long extension. As you can see, I got a pretty long one there. And then they have the screw on 10mm here. Oh, guess what, guys? There is our motor for the EVO. Heck yeah, guy, come right over here. This is where it's at. All right, I'm not gonna freak the dude out by having a camera. I'll show you guys what it looks like as soon as I get it. There we got it, guys. We got the new motor for the EVO. Look at this thing on the pallet and everything. I just want to open the dang thing. Here, we got a raised blade already. I don't want to cut anything though. Well, let's see if I can go here. Get a look at this thing. Oh, we got a peak already. Starting to get somewhere. Oh snap, guys. Hell yeah, this thing is freaking clean, guys. That's why I picked this one, because it looked like it was the cleanest one they had. At least that I saw for sale. And this thing is super clean. Look at that. Hopefully this thing's picking up how clean this thing is, guys. This is crazy. Well, I'm gonna get that thing unwrapped. Then I gotta figure out how to get it over into the garage, because we got both the cars in the driveway. We got this one. I can't show you what's in the garage, because I'm still keeping that from you guys. But we're gonna get this thing unwrapped and on the cherry picker and in the garage. Guys, this thing is so clean. I would love to just leave it on the pallet and get the thing in the garage, but we just don't have a big enough area. It's so full right now. Now we decide what to do. Well, boys, we got a problem. Just in arm's reach. Maybe. Oh, it's so close. Lower this thing down. Yep, we're getting sketchy with it. Let's see what happens. Well, if I die, you guys probably won't get to see this video, but it'll be recorded. Oh, look at this. We freaking got it. Hell yeah. Now let's go. See what happens. Don't know what's gonna happen. We're probably screwed for getting this freaking pallet through here. I can tell you that right now. It's on the lift points, guys, so not too sketchy, but just, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I don't know who's gonna be able to pick it up. No, F. We're stuck. Oh, it's picking it up. Uh-oh, I'm picking myself up. Come on. You can do it. Let's go. Oh boy. I think we're breaking the pallet. Okay. Oh geez. This is sketch. Oh geez. There it goes. Okay, well, the good news is we got it. Bad news is there's no way in hell that pallet's gonna fit through here. There's just not enough room between the cars. I can't show you what's in the garage. It's really a pain in my butt because you guys can't see what's going on yet. What's that noise? Environmental, promise. Just water. Well then, looks like we're gonna have to cut this freaking thing off this pallet. So let's grab some cutters. This should get interesting. Let's see if I can grab something, cut it. Whoa, what the heck? These are stuck. Oh, these should freaking work prime. Probably not. Harbor Freight. Thank you. These things are pretty dull as hell. No clue what's gonna happen when I cut this. Oh yeah, those things freaking are gonna cut that. Oh! Oh geez. We're getting somewhere. Oh, that one's the same one. So that means this one's left? No, come on. Cut that thing. I think it's probably gonna go flying because of how much pressure's on here. Come on. Oh, it's so close. Ah, Jesus. Uh-oh. I told you guys we're getting sketchy. Holy crap. Well done. Might need to reevaluate the situation here. What? No, it's not even connected. Maybe. It's not even connected. We're golden. Get out of there, bud. Get the off here. Oh, well, that's not gonna work. So, I can get this thing out of here. And this one out of there. Why would they do that? They can't even find us. There. Bam. Now we just gotta get old girl back on the ground. We're getting sketchy. Well done. That's not gonna work, guys. Well, there it goes. Now it came forward. Try this again. This thing's freaking heavy, guys. And there's anything underneath this. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to pull this by myself. This thing is 560 pounds, is what they said. Let's set this camera up and see if I can pull it up here. There goes nothing. Come on, old girl. Oh, crap, this thing's heavy. Come on. Holy shit. Stuck. I have no clue how I'm gonna get this thing up here. You guys ever tried to pull 500 pounds? Cause I haven't. Uphill. Holy shit, this thing's heavy. Woo! Oh fuck. Dude, this thing is so heavy. There's no way. Okay, we're gonna have to call for backup. Whew. Thought we could get it. Definitely not happening. I'm definitely not the strongest person in the world, but not the weakest. Holy crap, this thing's heavy. We're gonna have to make a call. See if we can get someone to come over and help. Actually, I know just a guy. Just a moment. Ta-da! As you guys can see, this thing is at least up here for now. There's no room in the dang garage for it because we got so much EVO stuff in here right now. But we got it up here. Big thank you to our neighbor, Ben. He actually has a 08XX he just bought recently and I was helping him with that. So I actually went ahead and went over, asked him. He came over, helped me out. Big thank you. Because there was no way I was getting that freaking thing up that hill there. This thing is heavy, guys. 600 pounds. You wouldn't think about it, but when you're trying to go uphill and you're getting stuck in every crevice and you got 2 cars to watch out for, there's no freaking way. So, big thank you to him. We got this thing up here. Then I got to figure out, make room in the garage for it. Like I said, we'll have to figure that out. Jumping back onto this thing, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get everything that I can done tonight, because you can tell, looks like it's starting to get to the sunset. So I'm gonna get everything I can done tonight and then just leave it literally down to the intake manifold tomorrow, so that way that's the only thing we have left to do. So it should be pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Man, this thing looks good. So that means if I'm leaving that for now, the things I can do next, we can go ahead and bolt our power steering back up, our AC back up, probably even put the alternator on and everything. We do have the harness though. I think we'll just go ahead and throw the downpipe back on, probably get the AC back on with the belt, and then get the radiator in, and then that's probably gonna call it for tonight. So that's just gonna wrap up this video for you guys. I'm gonna break it up because I'm pretty sure this is gonna be way too long. So hope you guys enjoyed it. You'll have to stay tuned for part 2 on this to see what we're gonna do and how good this thing's gonna be when we get it tuned. And you guys know it, a reaction. So definitely hope you guys enjoyed this. Obviously we have the EVO coming up soon now that we got the motor, and we did go get the cylinder head today, so I do have that. Big thank you to Matt at Cylinder Head Service. So we got that, and we got a tap that we're gonna need, we got the gasket kit, we got the motor. Shoot, we got everything, put that thing together. So that's coming up. First we got to finish this thing up, and then we can get on to that. So it's gonna be a good weekend, guys. We still have Riley's car to tune as well. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground.